A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to this reading session, this collective reading session. Please remember that our emotions are also portals that take us to a physical reality, that can create physical reality for us. So we need to remember that we need to take control of our emotions, and that helps us in taking quantum leaps to the future or to the higher version, to connecting to the higher version of our own selves, and also helps us to integrate with source by surrendering and accepting that everything is happening because of divine orchestration. So let's get started, and before we start, we take complete responsibility of our own actions and of our own lives. So let's see what is the message today that we have by source to the whole collective, to all the people who are listening. So the first two cards actually establish the mood or the theme of this reading, and both of these cards, some of you might be aware, and I'm also going to be using intuitive reading, the Five of Cups and the Nine of Swords. I can basically sense a person who has got a lot of experience in getting gaslighted by their narcissistic abusers, caregivers, partners, or maybe even friends or any other person who had access to them. So this gaslighting was so extreme actually that it led them to have sleepless nights. They've cried alone, had sleepless nights, they've gone through a lot of pain. But this is the past, because the present shows me that they are in a great space. They are at the Emperor energy, which is healing of the divine masculine as well. But at the same time, this could also be happening in progression right now, and I'm gonna tap into this energy, tap into this reading. These cards have established the theme of the reading, and the first card shows me some kind of mental anxiety, some kind of pain, remorse, regret, sadness, a whole bunch of these feelings, and unable to see what's there, and more focus is being given on what's not there, what has spilled, things that cannot be changed. So this person is actually very much focused into their past. They are constantly questioning their past. They are not able to move on from the past. This is how they were. This is how their state was. So people who resonate with this channeling session, as we go on into this channeling session, my intuitive reading is telling me that this channeling is definitely about gaslighting. And I'm being shown that some people were heavily attached to their physical reality, and those people were around you and they were able to pull your strings. They were able to pull your strings. And the one that I'm channeling right now, the Emperor, this person is extremely confident. They've got a lot of self-worth in them. Let's tap into their energy. So my dear friends, what I'm being shown right now is that this person is being celebrated. There are some people around this person who celebrate them now. And this also means that they have a strong support system. They have a very strong network of people. And they are kind of also being welcomed. For some people, it could have just started like this type of energy. They have started tapping into this type of energy where they sense a feeling of victory, they sense a feeling of winning. And it could be a daily feeling also. And that doesn't mean that there won't be any challenges or there won't be any difficulties. It's just that this person now knows, they are so resilient that they know that they can easily face any challenging situations, provided they surrender to source. They are always going to be victorious in most cases. I mean, this is what their destiny is showing me. And look, this person has a very strong solar plexus. They've got a celebration going on. And I'm also being shown, like in this type of reading, this is the masculine and this is the feminine. So I'm also being shown the healed masculine and feminine energy. You can see some people in the background. They are dancing. They're dancing, making merry. This also looks like a wedding scene. So this could also be union for a lot of people, like their masculine and feminine have started blending in, their anima and animus have started blending in. This could also mean a profitable venture, like they may have gone through some kind of success in the recent past, or they are moving towards success. Like this also means progress. This could also mean that you have literally progressed a lot, and if you look back, say 2 years or 3 years behind, if you look back, you will notice that you have got a lot of changes in your life. You've got a lot of strength, you are very independent. It's not the same that you were at one time when you were suffering at the hands of those who were always gaslighting you and taking 50% of your life force energy on a daily basis. My dear friends, in this channeling session, I'm also being shown that there has to be some kind of spiritual belief system which takes them away on a very self-reflective mode all the time. Like they go alone in solitude and they look at the world in a way that they don't see like what's closing in or what's nearby. They look at the bigger picture, the periphery, not the peripheral view, but the bigger picture. They look at the macro level. It's almost like having a bird's eye view, where you can see they're standing at a place from where they can view the whole area, the whole place. And they've got very strong system. Inner system is very strong. The guidance system is very strong. So this type of person has a broader perspective. I can definitely say that this person has a lot of inner peace and they have a sense of purpose. This person has either connected with the purpose of their life, or they have literally figured out like why they're here. It could also be because they understand that sooner or later there will be a judgment day and everyone has to face it. Everyone has to die one day. So they've kind of practically understood it and they've accepted it. They've accepted it in every pore of their body in such a way that they know that everything around them is temporary. It is Maya. It is illusion. They're gonna go one day. So it is very important to practice this strength, this courage, and being a person who can tame even the wildest animals because they got the knowledge of infinity. Infinity is very, very important. They got peace. They're connected with nature. They've got a lot of strength, courage, and most importantly, they've got nurturing. The divine feminine element is also healed. So we saw the divine masculine is healed and in very powerful place. This is also a divine card. And this is also divine card, the strength. And this one is also divine card. So I've got so many divine cards in this reading and all of them make sense. Masculine, feminine, and there is a judgment day. So whatever time you have on this planet, whatever you're here to do, one thing is definitely clear about this person is that they practice some kind of mindfulness activity. They have self-reflection that allows the individual to observe their thoughts, emotions, and reactions in a very objective way. This person is an observer and it helps them to recognize when the gaslighting triggers. I told you, challenges never go away. People are always going to say something. This is a narcissistic society, the narcissistic world that we live in. And these type of people, they understand, they know very well that people are always going to say something, do something, or maybe some situation is going to gaslight them. It can trigger an emotion, a feeling, but it's totally in their hands how they choose to respond. How they choose to respond to it. Yes, in the past, they have gone through a lot, but now, looking at their present, they also know how to celebrate. They also know how to be happy in the moment. And they have someone in their life, some people in their life. They have givers around them. Earlier, they were only surrounded by takers, but now they are also surrounded by givers. Givers shape them up, help them out, support them, motivate them, and they stand there for each other. So this is a very beautiful emotion or a very profound emotion to have in the same channeling, which started with the theme of gaslighting and sleepless nights and not being able to move on from the past. I'm also being shown one more thing that they have learned to do. When I asked what is it that they've learned to do, they have realized that all of us, all the people actually create their own barriers. They create their own obstructions Actually, if you look at this image, nothing is stopping this person as such. This person can free themselves and just walk out from this situation. But they're not doing that. Not only they're blindfolded, but they're not stepping out from that situation because they personally don't want to. Maybe they don't have a strong sense of self-confidence or self-worth, or maybe they just get affected or swayed by gaslighters, people who are the naysayers. So they, or not only they, this is like a lesson, this is like a guidance that everyone, every single person who's here can create a foundation of self-belief and value that enables them to trust their own perception and their own wisdom, their own experiences. All in all, the main message of this channeling is that their gaslighting has no impact on you now, because you have learned about their true nature, and you feel bad for them also because they are heavily, this person, whosoever is around you, is heavily attached to the physical Maya. But you no longer can give them your energy, because when you were giving them your energy and your focus, or you were kind of clinging onto them, or you were participating in some of the activities that they were doing, you realize that the more you attach yourself to them, or the more you do things that you were doing earlier in life, they only take in your energy, because they are not inviting you. They are not inviting you, or they are not making you feel that you are very important. They need your consent, they need your approval. On the contrary, they would gaslight you by saying, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, you didn't choose this, you didn't choose that. So you've realized that these are just words. Whatever they say, these are just words, because they like to get attention, or they always want to act unhappy with something or the other. No matter how much you've done for these people, they're always unhappy. They're never like thankful, or they have gratitude. And hanging out with them actually makes you also become like them. Like, they may be having a 3D job, they may be going to 9 to 5 jobs, they may be having loans or credit card bills to pay. You might be living much more freer and happier than them. But hanging out with them a lot makes you realize that maybe you lack in some things, or they keep talking about a lot of difficulties of life which probably don't even exist. Because if they have bought things, if they have credit cards, if they have loans to pay, if they have jobs, if they have fancy jobs especially, they already have a lot of things going good for them. But they like to speak in this way for a number of reasons. So it could also be like they just like to talk about these worldly things in a pessimistic way, in a sadistic way. Some people derive sadistic joy by just talking about sadistic stuff, and then in the end they would move on and they would say, oh yeah, I have to go for this, I have to go for that, I have this work to be done, I have that work to be done. And you would feel like you got nothing to do. Where actually, on the contrary, you might be having a lot of things to do, but only because of their love, and only because of the connection you feel for them, only because of you being you're just a loving person, a sweet person, a people's person who was trained to become a people pleaser, because your energy is like that. Whatever you focus on grows, remember? So they want you to focus on them so that they can grow, but then that leads to you not growing. And then I'm also being shown that you're not a person who wants to focus on your ego at the same time. Like, you don't want to focus on them, but you also don't want to focus on your ego. You are a very loving, compassionate person who's a giver, and you have started realizing that you rather focus on the purpose of your life, you rather focus on the things you love, because these things make you happy. I'm also being shown that there is someone in your life who really looks up to you, who really is inspired by you, and this person makes you very happy. They stand by you, they support you. Like, the relationship that you share with this person may not have a label or a tag, but it is much better without that, because both of you are the same way actually. Both of you are into inner work, both of you are having this whole feeling of purpose, having a life purpose. Both of you are givers, both of you are caregivers, both of you have similar energy. You've both been discarded by your own people. At some point in your life, you both were discarded by other people, so you have a shared connection, you have a shared feeling of being discarded, but you're not like the complaint boxes. You did not get discarded and then just went into a bad space. You actually got discarded, but you worked very hard. You worked on yourself. You did a lot of inner work. You just started shining through and through, even though the people who discarded you, or maybe a single person who was like the last nail in the coffin. I was also shown 1717 while I just said it. So let's just look into that also. So these people, or whosoever put the last nail in the coffin, whosoever was doing the final discard, that person and those people who mattered a lot to you, discarding you or not giving you support or not just accepting you as who you are. The whole problem was not even about support, it was more about ego clash. So maybe you said that, what, I think I should do this, this is what I love to do, and that was hurting the other person's ego, that how is this person saying it so confidently, and also they make it look like they can pull it off on their own. So you know what, let me pull off or take away all the support system and let them try to do it on their own. So just when you actually needed someone's support, someone's love, someone's guidance, someone's presence, these people just discarded you. It was a very big betrayal. So 1717 also means that you made fresh starts. You followed your heart, because that popped up just when I was saying that statement. It also means that after tumultuous time, you are basically being directed to comfort, and you were taken care by your guides and your masters, your spirit guides, just in time. But you also were worthy, you also worked very hard, you also, maybe you wanted to prove it to them in the first initial phase, but then later on you realize that you don't need to prove it to anyone, you don't need to do anything of that nature. You just want to be yourself, because the whole warfare or the whole fight or the whole situation started when you said that you want to be yourself. And they were like, no, you have to be sansaric, you have to be 3D, you have to do whatever we tell you to do, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. Like, the society wants you to be free, and then they say, oh no, you cannot be free like this, you got to do something else, you got to be something else to be free. Or let us tell you what is the real standard of freedom, or what is the real way to feel free and be free. So that is not being free actually, because still you're not able to exercise your intuition. But however, they've also helped you in becoming who you are. You make other people around you feel powerful, you make other people feel strong, you enhance people's special quality. You're not the type of person who always says that you're special, you're special, you're special, but you're the person who says to other people you're special. Not saying that I'm special, but saying you're special. You are a kind of personality that makes other people very comfortable in your presence. And that's like a very beautiful gift to have. And this is where I'm going to close this particular channeling session and intuitive reading session. For personal readings, for personal sessions, and for therapies, you can check out the description box below. And you can write to me at thesunamoon@gmail.com. And kindly do not share Twin Flame journey in advance with me, because I use spiritual tools, modalities, psychic gifts, and also intuitive reading. And all of the credit goes to masters and source, because they are the actual doers. Me and you are simply mediums. We are simply the observers. We forget that, and that's why we need hand holding. So I will see you soon in another one. One love, peace out, and Jai Shri Ram.